What did he see in the presentations that he saw? He saw me in Stuttgart last year. He saw me in Berlin this year. And he said, will you come to my best chapter? And I thought, well, what do I have to say to you which is important enough for me to talk to the best chapter in Holland? Is that right? You are the best chapter in Holland? Yes. Yeah? What am I good at? Well, one thing I don't want to do today is to say to you, BNI Connect is the best thing in the world and you should really, really all be using it, because I don't think that is necessarily what you feel. My feeling is that connecting people all over the world is something that I am probably a little bit better at than some other people. So I'm not here to lecture you and tell you what you should be doing. I'm here to tell you a little story about what I did, which your boss thought was an interesting story and is something that I should be telling you about. In 2011, I had a telephone call with Ivan Meissner, and I'm in a fortunate position of being an Englishman in Germany. And the links with the Anglo-Saxon world were a little bit more natural to me than some of my German colleagues. When we built up BNI over the last 10 years, it wasn't always easy. So we had a few discussions with Ivan and various people. And through that, I got to know Ivan relatively well. And in 2011, I talked to him about BNI Connect and said, BNI is my business. I've been waiting for BNI Connect for 3 years. I've been longing for BNI Connect and telling all you people how wonderful it's going to be. Why is it not working? And he explained for 20 minutes why it's important that we actually do network internationally, why BNI Connect is going to be very, very important for the future. And I said, Ivan, are you actually getting any sleep? Because at that time, I don't know how many of you were in BNI at that time, when BNI Connect came in? Nobody?
3 years ago.
3 years ago. You were in that situation of having a system that didn't work very well, is that right? You were familiar with that situation? Until now. Thank you. That was the positive contribution to my 10 minutes. I said to him, Ivan, it's not really working very well. What can we do to help? And there was a general answer. And as a result of that, I decided we really have to do something, because if the boss has got a slight problem with a project that we thought was good, do we say to him, your problem, go and fix it and tell us when it's right? Or do we do what BNI does, which is, how can I help you solve the problem?
Mr. Barber,
yes.
Can you talk a little bit slower?
Yes. Thank you. I can. Welcome to my 15-minute presentation. Thank you for telling me. As a result of that, we decided to link BNI members in 5 continents in 5 days. And I thought, is that really going to be possible? Can you meet real people with real faces in real places in 5 days? We have an international conference in Los Angeles once a year. And we started the 5 days in Los Angeles on the Friday. We then flew from LA to Melbourne, Australia, and went to a chapter meeting on the Tuesday in Melbourne. We went to a chapter meeting in Singapore on the Wednesday, in Dubai on the Thursday, and in Mannheim, Germany on the Friday. And when you take those 5 days, it is actually less than 5 working days. So it's a little bit stretching the matter, but 5 continents in 5 days did work. That was a little bit of a dream, and I thought I was really cool doing that. And a few other people thought I was really cool, but Ivan said, you're crazy. Thank you, but you're crazy. Various other people said, okay, nice idea. What's the use of it? But it was a cool video. I was accompanied by a cameraman who works for BBC, Al Jazeera, various other companies that you would know. BNI member. We made this video, the short version of which I will show you in a moment. And I presented the video at the conference that Bernhard saw in Stuttgart, thinking they're going to get bored crazy because this is my toy and nobody's going to understand why I did it. And I was standing on stage for 10 minutes talking and then 10 minutes showing the video. And during the 10 minutes, there was a screen to one side, a screen to the other side. And I honestly believe I could have taken all my clothes off and danced around naked and nobody would notice. They were so fixed on the screens. And I thought, hang on, they seem to be interested after all. When the presentation finished, something happened to me that has never happened in my life. 150 people stood up and clapped, and some of them had tears in their eyes. And I thought, hang on, this really isn't just me. There are people when they see the message, understanding that, yes, we are BNI in your chapter here locally, but there is a whole other world out there of people that we actually really can reach. So we did 5 chapters in 5 continents in 5 working days. And the reason for that was, on my business card, which most of you have got now, are the words local, business, global network. And I think we are really, really good at BNI, and you are really, really good at BNI in doing the local business part. This is a local business meeting, and we have local business meetings all over the world, and they are really, really good. What we don't do quite so well yet, and which offers a huge opportunity for all of us, is the global network part. And that is what BNI Connect, to me, is extremely useful for. Is BNI Connect as useful to you in some ways as LinkedIn? Probably not. Is it as useful to you in other ways as Facebook? Probably not. Has it cost a fraction of what those have cost to produce? Of course not. It is something that only BNI members have. Now, the glass is either half full or it's half empty. And to me, the glass for BNI Connect is getting fuller all the time, because the more people whose profiles are on it, the more easy it is to find you. I am hearing from members every day who are getting business off BNI Connect simply because they have their profile. And my suggestion to you would be, BNI Connect is a tool to be used. It is not going to be as good as other things for other purposes. But you will find people on BNI Connect who share your values. They get up in the morning, they do something useful, they understand givers gain, they are prepared to invest time in their business to help other people make their businesses stronger. My point of view is not BNI Connect is the best, but use it for yourself. Make sure you have your profile on BNI Connect. Do you have your profiles on BNI Connect? May I ask, how many of you are confident that you have a really good profile on BNI Connect? How many of you have a website and are confident that your website is really, really cool? Yeah? How many of you pay money for that website? BNI Connect is free. And when I go in my region and put in a name in Google, Willy Schmidt Malermeister, I put in Willy Schmidt BNI in my region, his BNI Connect profile will come up. That to me is an enormously powerful thing to do, because I don't always have his calling card with me. I don't always have his email address. I don't always have his telephone number. But if any of you have ever heard of Google, put somebody's name in, put BNI after it, and you will find their profile on BNI Connect will appear. So if I wish to refer you, my accountant with personality, yeah? I am an accountant too. I would give your name and BNI, and I would say, just have a look in Google, have a look at him. If you'd like me to introduce you, let me know. My advice to you, my suggestion to you is BNI Connect is free. The profile page is free. Make sure your profile page is in there, because people all over the world are actually looking for people like you. I didn't think they were, but they're finding people in my region simply because the profile is there and the keywords are there. How many minutes do I have left?
10.
Do I have 3? Yeah. Because if I have 3, I would like to show you the short version of the video we made in 2011. 2011, I told you, was USA, Melbourne, Singapore, Dubai, and Germany. In 2012, we did again Germany, Dubai, Hong Kong, Japan, and the US. And this year, we will be going to a part of the world which I've never been to. We will also be going to Nairobi and Cape Town. Nairobi on the way to the US, Cape Town on the way back. Why? Because in these places we are meeting real people with real faces who we still have relationships with and are bringing business to members in my region. And that is the reason that I've done all this. First of all, it makes our region known around the world. Secondly, it makes our members known around the world. And I don't think any of you would object to somebody from another part of the world saying, I found you on BNI Connect. Can we talk? Because I think I can buy something from you which you need, or I think I have a member who needs something which you need. Just before I show the video, last point would be, how many of you have competitors? How many of you have people who do the same as you do, other people? Okay, most of us do. We all have competitors. You are the only people in this area who have access to 150,000 people through a system called BNI Connect. It's not perfect yet, but the more people of us use it, the more perfect it will get. And if we are all in there with our profiles, if we are all in BNI Connect using it, you will have a huge advantage over the people who are your competitors in your area. I would like to show the video now. Are you ready, sir? Yes. Thank you for listening to me in English. It was harder than in German, but I did my best. I hope it was understandable. If it was too fast, I'm going to stay here a bit longer and can do it again. Thank you very much. This is the short version of the BNI Connect 5 video 2011. There is a long one on YouTube, and 2012 I will get to you if you're interested. Thank you very much.
Kevin, as I understand it, you're going around the world in not 80 days, but 5 days. You're choosing to visit 5 BNI chapters in 5 different continents. Why are you doing this?
We have a motto within BNI, it's called Local Business Global Networks. The purpose of doing this is to instruct our members why it is important to look at BNI as a global network. At BNI we are building relationships. That is what we teach people to do, that's what we are good at, and that's why over €2 billion of business was done within BNI last year.
First time when Kevin told me about his idea, I looked at him and I said, "Are you sane?" When I thought about the second time, since it's for such a great cause, then it makes sense.
We've never been closer, I guess. Business is it doesn't matter what part of the world it's in, it's actually in our pocket.
Before I joined BNI, my business only covers 2 countries in Malaysia and Singapore. And up to right now, after 4 years in BNI, my business has already reached 16 countries.
I think on international scales, BNI is definitely a platform for us to grow our business. It's an easy and efficient manner for us to get connected to many different parts of the world.
Together with the people in Singapore, there was definitely a feeling this morning, we are changing the way the world does business.
I can contact people in my industry all over the world. We can talk about certain industry specific issues and how they're using BNI to grow their business.
What I see in BNI, in any chapter for that matter, is business gets done from all over the world.
We've had members come in the door and look at BNI SuccessNet and say, there's a contact to Dubai. And they filed their membership application without a second thought. And in the course of 6 weeks, they closed a deal worth millions. Those of you who want to come along next year are happy to join me. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you.